Welcome back to the Dark Pod. Things are dark around here, Cam.
What the fuck happened?
What happened here?
I don't know. I just saw myself in the camera. I didn't realize it was Darth Bane.
Didn't realize.
Didn't realize it was Darth Bane, the step cousin of Luke Skywalker.
Now, Cam, this is a fantastic thing. You want a new kind of theme for the show. I think a lot of the vibe of the podcast room. You know, you're taking a lot of inspiration from Rogan. You're kind of adding little tchotchkes, like the type of things that would be
What's
on
a
your
tchotchke?
like the tchotchkes, like the type of thing that would be on your grandmother's cabinet. You have a lot of those sort of little thimbles from the former Yugoslavia. You have little things that remind you of vacations.
Ah, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
They're knickknacks.
Yeah. Little knickknacks, little paddywhacks. And you're giving dog bones. Give
the frog alone.
Okay. So you
know
know
that
it's a good look, Cam. Maybe let's just light a couple candles here. That's nice. Here, let me. I'll light a candle right behind you there, Cam. Nice, great new haircut, by the way. I gotta say, I'm just gonna lean over you here, right beside you, and light this.
I got a lot of hairspray in there.
You got a haircut. Oh, yeah. I noticed
hairspray.
I noticed you a new perm by the looks of it.
Who's getting perms these days?
Apparently you. Well, I think last week you did. I think last week you did go into that Eastside Mario's and ask for the chicken perm. And they gave
Welcome
it.
to.
They. Oh no! Kick it!
Get the fuck out of here.
Continuing tonight on Two C's in a Pod. 96.7 on your.
Two C's in a pod, 2 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 C's because we're 2 C's in a pod, 2 C's just like 2 C's in a pod, 2 C's in a pod at gmail.com.
Oh boy, how long has it been? Ladies
and gentlemen, welcome back to Two C's in a Pod. How long has it been? It's been approximately as long as we remembered what to do.
So I can bend down in my illusion.
My name is Cameron Osborne. I am your fearless leader and host. One of the hosts, that is.
You're listening to Eddie Vedder here doing his live recording of Where Have My Baby Been.
Now, Mr. Vedder, people have been wondering, where have you been?
Ever since me and the band broke up, the famous band that I'm a part of. Maybe you can tell me what band that was.
Yeah, you can tell me what it is. It certainly isn't. It's the hard work of an oyster, and the perfect complement to peanut butter and bread.
Perfect jelly Pearl Jam. There it is.
We're sitting here with Cam LeClaire, current lead singer of Pearl Jam. That's right, Eddie Vedder. You can go fuck yourself. You are gone from the band. And Cam, we kind of had to take the last week off. Sometimes being such a huge podcast is emotionally draining.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to travel to Alberta for work. And then sometimes you have to be a guy who does Halloween shit.
Halloween shit. That is right. I decided to, I think for a coach, what you're referring to, Cam, is you sort of wanted to have a little pumpkin carving contest of your own, which was actually really successful. You're raising a lot of money for charity, but your jack-o'-lantern was just, you kind of carved open one hole and then you just shit. You just pooed in it. Did not emit very much light, but won the contest.
I put it in a truck stop and said it's the newest glory hole. It went wild. Ooh, that's a drink. Is that a whiskey drink or a vodka drink or a drink that reminds you of the good times?
Oh, A drink reminds me of the bad times, Danny boy. No, Cam. We're having a little vodka soda tonight on a.
Was that a Shining reference?
No, isn't that like the next lyric in the song? Like, oh, Danny boy.
You're right. Because I'll have a drink that reminds me of the bad times could be referring to Jack Nicklaus's character in The Shining, who has an alcoholic problem and beats his kid when he's drinking.
That could also be it. Although we don't ever see the child. Oh, well, Cam, I'm so glad that you were able to watch a movie and actually retain parts of it.
Oh, and I watched Dr. Sleep too on the plane home.
Oh, right. You had mentioned that you wanted to do the big follow up. Is this a preamble segment, Cam? Because we have to get into the show, Cam. So let's kick off the this week's episode like we do every single week, which is by
looking back in the past.
Looking back on the past, and with a little segment that I like to call "What Did Cam Watch This Week?"
That's what we do when we look back on the things we didn't do.
Every single week, Cam, we have started off the show with an edition of What Did Cam Watch This Week? So I'm going to kick it over to you, Cam. What did you watch this week?
Okay. So I didn't have much time for television because there was a lot of working and doing the stuff with a lady. And that's not sex. That's just touring around Alberta for you sickos at home. But the things I did do is I watched the 2 UFC cards since we last chatted. That was probably the 2 best things I've watched. Mm-hmm. I watched the first episode of Cocaine Cowboys. I watched Dr. Sleep. And I watched a few Seinfeld episodes. That's it.
And that concludes What Did Cam Watch This Week? Thanks a lot for listening, folks. We're plowing ahead here on the show. We're going to kick off to another segment. Of course, it is the segment that we do every single week. It is What's Your Favorite Athlete to the Episode Number? Cue theme music now. Cam, I'm going to kick this one off for you this week. We're on episode 93, The Big Dougie Gilmore.
Oh, that was mine as well.
Well, I said it first. More of a homer than you will ever be, and that's how we play. Who is your favorite athlete to the episode number?
And we're coming up to commercial break, so you guys better stay tuned because we might have other players named number 93 if we can Google fast enough. But stay tuned for our PJ Brown is my answer, and Meta World Peace.
Okay, and that concludes the segment. We are now going to hear a word from our sponsors, folks, so stick around. Hi, my name's Cameron Osborne. Are you looking for the perfect shoe for your little leaguer? Well then, here it comes. No more new Reebok Little League shoes, specifically tailored to meet all of your little league son's needs. His needs such as being yelled at by an adult, being embarrassed that he's not able to de-shell sunflower seeds in his mouth without using his fingers to pull out, and then he has to eat it. Other needs, such as being afraid to shake the other team's hand after a game of t-ball. Endorsed by 2ceesinapod. Use promo code 2Cs for 15% off your very first pair of Little League shoes. Now back to the action.
Do you find yourself in Ontario, where housing prices are expensive? Do you find yourself wondering where your next rent payment is going to come from? Don't fear, because Airbnb for free is here. That's right, everyone. With these new lenient laws against rent kicking out, as well as foggy laws on Airbnbs, you can legally stay in an Airbnb. And when they tell you to leave, say, I got a contact named Cam who will take care of everything. That's right, everyone. You can't stay there.
Welcome back to the show here. Thanks for that word from our sponsors. Hey, do you want to be a sponsor of the show? Let us know, twoceesinapod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Of course, we are still kind of ongoingly accepting charitable donations. And yeah, that's the email. You know what it is.
Yeah, that's the email. That's yeah. I'm sure we have plenty to comb through, but we probably don't have time. No time in this world, Cameron. No time. No time. Big news for the podcast. I'm no longer a single lady.
I'm putting my hand up here, Cam, in the back.
Put your hands up, people.
I'm putting my hand up.
Shake it around. That's right, folks. Pop the question. I'm engaged now.
Wow. You are.
That's me.
Wow. Congrats. This is huge news. This is huge on the podcast. This is the huge news of the podcast, Cam. I got a big congratulations. I know that you were kind of mulling back and forth within the past couple of weeks. You know, where do you get down on one knee? Is this a thing you want to do in a restaurant, in private, Cam? I think initially your plan was to get like a big bowl of KFC popcorn chicken and just sort of have the engagement ring rummaging around there. You really liked that idea initially.
Yeah, a lot of people talked me out of that one. Then I went to the Calgary Flames game. Thought that would have been a great idea. A bunch of ideas there, trying to put it in a water bottle when someone's not looking and hope it hits their mouth. Coffee cup, another great idea. You know, really trying to prank it around.
You were trying to do. You kind of tried to like you based every meal around the ability to put an engagement ring into the meal. You were suggesting
without swallowing it.
You were suggesting a lot of soups, a lot of puddings, a lot of things where it would really stand out.
That's right.
Yeah, a lot of like milkshakes, something where you're sucking with a straw and then it would hopefully get stuck in there. Cam, and also you also mulled over the potentially like fake dropping one, like dropping a fake ring only to pull the real one out, you know, for that initial kind of like a very Jamie Kennedy experiment style prank. I know that.
Is that a former president?
Jamie Kennedy, former president of Malibu's Most Wanted and former prank show.
Jamie F. Kennedy, JFK.
Classic Jamie F. Kennedy, that is right. So, you know, John F. Kennedy was, you know, the president of the United States, but as soon as the grassy knoll, as soon as that shot came from there, Jamie F. Kennedy took the reins. Not many people know this.
Didn't we learn about this 2 weeks ago there was another Kennedy that was the son, John? Is he still kicking, or did he get killed too?
No, he didn't get killed. It was a plane crash.
Just got canceled?
Plane crash.
Oh, really? He's dead too?
Yeah. And
who's left of the Kennedys?
No, the other Kennedy that was assassinated was, I believe, Robert Kennedy, who was JFK's brother.
Jesus.
So yeah, the Kennedy family reunion is a sad affair. It's just Maria Shriver and Chris Pratt now. Those are the only two.
What
people
is Chris
at
Pratt doing there?
Okay, Chris Pratt is married to JFK's granddaughter, who is Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter. Yeah, that's right.
Chris Pratt is married to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter.
Yes. From his marriage with Maria Shriver, who is the Kennedy's daughter, like JFK and whatever his wife's name is. The corrections department's going to be all over this one. Why do I know this?
I don't know. This is blowing me away.
This is blowing you away.
So you're saying Chris Pratt's the next one to go? Or is it Arnold?
I don't think either one of the next one to go. I think Chris Pratt's the next president of the United States. I'll give you that one.
Wow. Competing against Joe Rogan and Oprah Winfrey?
You heard it here first. Yeah, it's going to be the first for full celebrity presidential campaign. Yeah, between Oprah, Chris Pratt, and Joe Rogan.
Wouldn't that be wild?
Yeah.
Just no funding allowed. You just have to platform on your own podcast.
Yeah, everyone's podcast is the one that gets it.
There's just no ads. Everyone's like, is there even an election coming up? Like, yeah, you just got to check Spotify. Things are crazy there. That's how it should be.
Yeah, we're all for more corporate.
Big corporate, guys.
Big corporate doesn't get enough
Big
respect. I
corporate.
think I've never thought.
No respect
I've
around
never
here.
thought the big corporate gets enough respect. Of course,
No, it gets shat on too much. You know, they're the ones that. You know what? When those grants came out for employers and corporate to pay more to their employees, what do they do with it? They pocketed it, as you should, and can only respect the game.
hate the player, don't hate the game.
Hate the player, hate the game. No, something like that. Hate the player.
You're so close. You're so close.
Something. We're there. Anyways, big corporate guys. So if any sponsors want to come in, we'll never badmouth you. Big corporate guys.
Honestly, we never will.
Hey, how's Foxconn doing?
Foxconn?
Yeah.
Of course, you're talking about the convention that I've made specifically for daytime Fox television shows. So mostly, it's a whole convention. It's actually going really great. We just got the big tickets signed up. Maury is headlining Saturday night at Foxconn. We have, of course, Judge Joe Brown earlier on the main stage in the afternoon. Divorce Court is heading up one of the side stages.
Are those real courts?
Yes, they're all real. They're all real courts. Of course, we weren't able to quite get Judge Judy. I think we're sort of working to maybe fill her in on Sunday night. We have Steve Wilkos performing on the Friday. It's going to be one hell of a festival, I gotta say.
If you could bring back one television show that got canceled, what would it be?
I don't think I would know enough shows that got canceled versus a show that ended.
Yeah, but I feel like an ending sometime is right. Okay, well, I'm going to say mine for canceled is Last Man on Earth because they never finished their final season.
Yeah, you liked that one.
Yeah, you didn't.
I never watched it.
You're a hater.
Because I'm a hater.
You want some more Haterade?
Yeah, I'm drinking some Haterade right now. It's a vodka Haterade. It's fantastic. Of course, I'm friends with
very low carb.
Very low carb. I'm friends with QAnon. I just never.
Me and Jeffrey go way back.
So let me tell you about the bees, as I used to call them. You might call them the bays.
I was talking about the Epstein.
Oh, you're talking about Steen. Steen, eh? But yeah, as we all know, I've been a part of, sort of the upper echelon, the billionaires, the crypto. I was friends with Elon Musk when he before when he was bald.
The hair transplant.
I was hair with. Well, one thing you might not know is that Elon Musk asked for my hair to be his plugs.
I was friends with him when we were getting haircuts together.
Yeah. Well, he has really long hair that he chooses that for a period of time he chose male pattern baldness as his hairstyle. And then so the hair he has now is just naturally grown. He doesn't.
You know how people sell their hair? Or sorry, don't sell it. They donate it when they get really long.
Yes.
Can you sell it?
I don't know. That is a good question. I
don't know why I thought you would know the answer, but figured I'd pose the question.
I've donated my hair before.
How much you get?
The pride and how much satisfaction you get from giving away something for free. Jess actually also donated her hair. She got it cut maybe about a month ago.
Right. Did she get more because it was blonde?
No, so if you donate your hair, that just goes to, like, the Canadian Science Society, like whoever makes the wigs for cancer patients. But I'm sure there would be some kind of world where maybe like a wig maker for television or film, may pay money for the real hair. But I feel like
this is the thing we need to get to the bottom of.
Okay.
Because wigs are being sold.
Yes.
We know this for a fact. We're donating hair for free. All right?
Yes.
Who's the middleman that's making all this cash?
I'm going to say the people who probably have to, like, weave singular hairs into, like, domes that fit over people's heads. Probably people doing the work.
You're doing the work making the hair.
Yeah.
All right?
I'm doing all the work over here.
You tell me, is there any hair? You can have stitchers all day. What are they going to stitch?
I'm the one having vitamin D every day.
Hey, look at me. Look at me in the eyes.
Yes, sir.
Follow the money. Follow the hair follicles.
Follow the hair follicles. I'm the one shampooing and conditioning. I'm the one having taken a combination of vitamin D and fish oil. I'm the one who I've been on ivermectin now for years, Cam. You don't even know this. I've been on a combination of
I know.
ivermectin and monoxidil.
I've seen you putting the shots in your ass.
And I'll be honest. I'll be honest. The things it does to my hair is wonderful. It's wonderful.
I love it. I love ivermectin. Clip that, Jamie.
Who's Jamie? Cam, we're alone in this room. Who are you talking to? Shit.
You ever had an imaginary friend?
No, I never did.
That would scare the shit out of me if my kid had an imaginary friend. I'd be like, it's for sure a ghost.
Not.
He's like, Tony says so. Who's Tony? Red rum. Red
Okay, yeah,
rum.
yeah, Cam. If your kid starts doing red rum with his
Red
fucking finger,
rum.
yeah, that's a red flag. I
Uh-oh.
don't know. Maybe like an imaginary friend isn't too bad.
You don't think so?
I never had one, and I think it's crazy. But hey, if you're out there listening and you have an imaginary friend, I'm sure that's totally normal.
Yeah, what's the appropriate age? Like 30 to stop having imaginary friends? Or is that just called schizophrenia?
Yeah, I would say. See, the thing with imaginary friend, like, is the imaginary friend there when you're jerking it? You know, so
good
so
question.
if I open up cognito mode, no, incognito mode, no. No, I've been using cognito mode lately. It shows
I'm all mixed up.
It shows everybody everything. I open up cognito mode and I put on just RedTube, and I just when I'm jerking it to completion, I like to think that my imaginary friend would be right there with me, encouraging me.
You'd hope so.
I'd
I mean,
hope
wouldn't
so.
you want? Well, in Arthur, which is the only frame of reference I have for imaginary friends, other than red rum, Nadine pops up occasionally.
Is Nadine Arthur's imaginary friend?
DWs. Also,
DWs, okay.
DW, really? That's the name we're choosing? DW?
What's the actual name?
Dorothy Winfred. You idiot. Did you not watch Arthur growing up?
I don't remember the sister's character's name.
All right, we got Arthur, main
Okay.
character.
Yes.
Sister, DW, imaginary friend. Nadine, Buster Baxter, main friend. Binky, another great name. Love a kid named Binky. Grew up with 2 or 3 of them.
If you're a kid named Binky, oh, Lord help you.
We got Francine, 90-year-old woman's name that somehow is 7 years old. We got something with the braids, Muffin.
What about you're forgetting? Well, of course you're forgetting the puppy Pal.
Pal, yeah. Never grows up, that dog. What is the name of that? Muffy.
That's the part that riles your gears. That the dog is always a puppy.
Yeah.
You're fine with Arthur wearing the exact same outfit every single day. You assume he just has.
I mostly do.
You assume he has a full closet. Yeah, Cam,
I've seen you wear that same sleeveless shirt almost every podcast, so don't even give me that.
Now,
and
Cam-
we record a week apart.
Now, Cam, you've been doing this thing lately, yeah, where you buy because you like the vest. You like
Love
a
the
vest that
vest.
zips up, so you just have bought one for every day of the week, and you kind of keep it on a rotating hanger in your closet.
See, I was looking at other vests the other day that had colors to them, but I feel like if I had a colorful vest, you can't really pull it off with everything. The black vest, no problem. You know,
That's a good point.
Rock that with everything, right? If I had like a bright orange one, people are gonna start calling me bright orange and Binky.
People are going to call you Binky, and if your name's Binky, Lord help yourself, your cousins, your parents are cousins. Your parents are cousins, and your cousins are your parents if your name is
And
Binky.
they're both your grandpas too.
However that works. Wow. That was fantastic.
You ever look into that song?
Which song?
On My Own Grandpa?
No,
Figure
I
out the logistics on that one?
didn't know there was a song called I'm My Own Grandpa.
Yeah, there is, and it gives you the full logistics of how you can be your own grandpa.
I don't
and there's some incest in it. Trust me on that one.
I don't think it'd be possible.
All right. Well, we're going to dive deep into that next week on the podcast.
Tune in next week. Cam's going to go over the specific incestual situation, which would result in you being your own grandfather. Yeah. So tune in next week. Does having sex with your parents make you uncomfortable? Well, you're going to love next week's episode when Cam goes deep diving into specific incestual relationships.
Now, it's like a 3-minute song.
You're not going to
It's
play
a song
it.
by... No, I'm not. It's a song by Ray Stevens, and I wonder if there's there is a graph here that shows it all. So we'll get into that next week.
Tune in.
There's
Wow.
widows involved. There's stepdaughters. My father's now my uncle. My stepdaughter's now my mother. There's a lot of stuff going on here.
That's looking forward to that one. Looking forward to that one. Specifics of how it all works.
Yeah, it might be difficult to do over. Do you want a little sampler?
No.
Many years ago, I was.
Right, I forgot rhetorical. Right.
Plowing ahead here. My comedic genius will never be met.
Not so far. Let's get into the show. Do we have any segments planned for today or what?
We're gonna do the top 5 PJ Brown number 93 on the Boston Celtics highlights.
That's a segment.
That's a segment really good for audio podcasts.
Let's
Look at that dunk. Oh, he put it in the basket.
Oh, good. He put it in the basket. He wasn't dunking the Gatorade into the garbage can. Let's do an actual segment for the show this week, and then maybe that'll inspire future segments. Let's take it back to the fall of 1985 or 6. Who knows? Let's bring you an episode of MacGyver and Fiverr. MacGyver in 5. It's time for MacGyver in Fiverr. MacGyver in Fiverr. It's time for MacGyver in Fiverr. Because we only have 5 minutes to recap this week's episode of MacGyver. Because
Yes, sir.
every single week, Cam and I recount the tales of Special Agent MacGyver as he travels through the entire planet Earth, solving all of life's little problems. And although it's been a couple weeks since he's been out of country, and this week is no different. We only have 5 minutes to recount the episode. I got the first half. Cam, do you have 5 minutes on the clock?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are checking out an episode this week, episode 11, Nightmares. We on the same page?
Nightmares. Yes,
Hell
sir.
yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2. And we open when we find ourselves at a port where somebody is nervously waiting around. Mac makes his way to the harbor where he spots a kid fishing and helps them out by putting a gum wrapper on the lure. He makes it shiny so that she catches a fish. We then meet Pete, who is waiting for Mac, but there are some men in suits who are also waiting for us. It appears as though they're a bunch of, you guessed it, East Germans. And if they're involved, it's got to be terrorism of some kind. They spot Mac and shoot down the old man. Mac runs away, fends off one of the East Germans. He hides the secrets he received, apparently, in a lamppost when he sees a cop standing by a car. He approaches the cop, who turns out to be crooked, and take Mac out. Then we're taken away, and Mac is being held hostage by the East Germans in a warehouse somewhere. They strap him down and seem to present him with some kind of serum, which they inject right into the motherfucker. So Mac better start squealing or else he's dead. If he doesn't give us details about where these secrets are held, he'll die in 6 hours unless he gets the antidote. So now Mac is locked away in some kind of bunker. He's on the hunt for a way out. He takes some springs from the cot in the room that he's in and hopes to create a slingshot of sorts, but the effects of the serum are starting to get to him and he's feeling a little woozy. He then uses his belt as a funnel to run from the sink to an electrical socket. By the way, this is the coziest prisoner bunker I've ever seen. The water comes down the sink into the electrical socket, which trips a circuit. So the guards run up to check on him. Right when they do, opens the door. He slingshots the mattress into them, giving him enough time to escape. But he is so disoriented that he gets hit by a car on his way out. in a haze, he seems to see the exact same kid fishing from earlier. She comes up to him and offers to help him, even though her friends are trying to convince her not to because he looks like a lousy drunk. She finds a cop who could actually help us, but Max starts having flashbacks to the cop who took him out earlier, so he pleads for her to stay away. She brings us back to her home, and oh boy, what a dump. Cam, over to you.
So after learning that her name is Lisa, we learn that she grew up with rather abusive parents and eventually ran away from home. So a little bit of a misfit. After passing out from the drugs, Mac recalls who drugged him, these East German bastards, and starts putting the pieces back together in his own head. So, at the same moment, these Eastern German bloc bastards are coming up the apartment looking into finding him. So, in a moment of clarity, Mac attaches some jumper cables to a used car battery to a television, activated once the bad guys push the door open, completing the circuit, overloading the tube TV, creating a very small explosion, giving Mac and Lisa about an extra 30 seconds to get away. So, is it worth it? Not up to me. Mac uses an old fire hose to throw down to the building, making the bad guys think he looked like he rappelled down it. Once they leave, we see Mac and Lisa never left the building, only to hide behind the couch. What a getaway. After all this conundrum, Mac asks Lisa to call the Bureau to tell Peter Thornton that Mac needs help while he's at the old warehouse, with only an hour and 7 minutes until he's dead. Mac sneaks past the guard at the old warehouse, uses an old nail to flatten the tire in a car nearby, distracting the guard to come by looking at the tire, only to kick open the door, knocking him out cold. After he sneaks into the HQ of the old warehouse to find the bad guys, Mac sees a rope, a smoke alarm, a sheet of plywood for his last plan. Mac strings up 3 large water jugs, hanging them from the roof, while starting a small fire on the rope to create a distraction with the fire alarm. Once the goons come around, Mac pretends to surrender, only to release the rope, which is hanging the 3 jugs, knocking over the plywood, making hundreds of jugs fall on the bad guys, assumingly knocking them out. They're now taken care of. Mac finally meets the head boss, who throws the antidote down the gutter, so Mac punches him in the face, knocking him out cold. And Mac finds a rod, which is probably the most interesting thing of this whole show, and starts smacking it against a fire hydrant when all hope seems lost. When Lisa asks what he is doing, I quote, "Impact makes the molecular ions concentrate to one end, creating a magnet." Mac then uses this giant rod as a giant magnet, capturing the antidote and orally taking this pill with only 2 minutes till his expiration. In the end, Mac offers Lisa a government scholarship and a happy ending for everyone because he goes and grabs the secret from the wall that he hid. 32 seconds left, Cam, and I would just like to point out the amount of time that he took to wire up this little thing where there's going to be a small explosion easily took more than 30 seconds, but they chose to do that instead of running away.
Every single episode, Cam, there seems to be an intricate plan which saves 15 seconds, which gets them a fraction of a time. But who knows? I've never been in a life or death situation. I don't know. Maybe those 15 seconds is all you need to live, and that's time.
That's time. All right.
Wow.
Plowing ahead.
Wow. Yeah, that's how it's played.
Meta World Peace. What a player.
You know sports, Cam. If I know one thing about you is that you know sports.
You hear about Carey Price?
Yeah. What happened? What happened?
So he didn't play for the whole beginning of the season and voluntarily went into the player support program. There's a name for it. Anyway, he just came out today and said that he has a substance abuse problem, which makes everyone immediately go, which one? But then everyone is going, it doesn't matter. We hope for the best. 100% agree. Are we betting on Coke? I feel like that's the answer. Coke or booze?
Either one of those things, Cam. I think, if anything else, this is just the perfect segue into our very next segment, Cam. We're going to play a game of March Madness.
This is a perfect segment. All right, let's hear what you got.
This is a perfect segment, Cam, where we are going, of course, if you understand the game March Madness, Cam, tell them how it's played.
I'm curious about this segment, but we're going to pick 8 brackets or 8 things. We're not sure what those things are. Compare them against each other to find out what the true champion is. And yes, people, you're not late. This isn't an old episode. It is November 9th.
No,
or not 9th.
no. Episode's coming out today. Folks.
Oh, okay.
Right before you go to bed, you'll be able to load up your Spotify and, see it. Anyways,
All right.
we're playing March Madness, and what we're going to do, we are going to March Madness the what you would want to be addicted to the least.
Wow, there it is. I was waiting for that one.
I don't know.
I thought you were just squirming away going, we're not going to talk about this, Cam. We're not going to talk about this, Cam. And then you said, Cam, what do you want to be addicted to least? And I'm really hoping these are going to be things that you find on those, what are those channels called that are really terrible? That's like, I'm addicted to eating drywall.
Oh. Okay. No, I'm glad that you did incorporate that, because yes, Cam, these are not normal things that you can be addicted to. Because Cam, I could have given you, and hey, there could be a backup list, which is, pills or weed. I don't know. There could be there could be a backup list somewhere in there, but that might not be the case.
All right, let's see what you got, champ.
So, Cam, let me give you the very first round matchup. Would you rather, or... Yeah, okay, so it's the other way around. What would you most rather be addicted to?
So what's my preference for addiction?
What's your preference for the addiction between the two?
What's your addiction, baby? Yeah, I gotcha.
Exactly. Okay, so first we have, would you rather be addicted to cheese, addicted to eating cheese? We're talking... Havarti.
That's the first one I was thinking.
We're
of
talking
too.
mozzarella. We're talking
Mozzarella.
We're talking shredded. We're talking whizzed. We're
talking
talking
the oldest blue cheese you can find.
We're talking so blue it's like not. It's actually mold. Or would you rather be addicted? Would you rather be addicted to shopping?
Ooh. So what do I want to give up more, my financial security or my health? That's the real question here. Oh, I mean, the nice thing about a shopping addiction is you always look fresh as fuck, right? And that part's cool, but crippling debt is normally what comes with it. It's never, I have a shopping addiction, but I do well otherwise, and there's not really any financial problems. Really, it's a spending problem, right? And that's the real problem, is that you get severely in debt and you have 22 credit cards. Shouts out to Visa Infinite. For cheese, you're just fat. You're very fat, and you probably smell, and you might have gout, which could be a big pain in the butt. I'm gonna go with this one and go with the old Krusty Krab's answer. Or Mr. Krabs' answer, and I would hate to be that crippling in debt, so I'm going to go with addicted to cheese.
Addicted to cheese. Wow, cheese making the way to the next round. Cam, not all addictions can be harmful in nature, right? Sometimes they can come out of a good place, but just with, kind of like the wrong intentions, right? Or sort of the wrong results, maybe, okay? So with this one, would you rather be addicted to running? I'm talking you're running marathon levels. You're taking
like
on
daily?
You're taking on Kenyans daily in long distance running. You're running 35K a day.
I'm posting on the Kitchener subreddit going, any Kenyans out there?
Exactly.
For a little jog, light jog?
And guess what? There's none.
They're like, fuck you. We get this scam.
Or would you rather be addicted to slapping on the chalk, pounding down some creatine, and just hitting weights every second you can?
Yeah, I wonder what the answer to this is. Oh, Cam, do you want to be a long-distance runner or just jacked to the gills? And everyone goes, is he a monster? And you go, you're goddamn right, I'm a monster. All right, I want to be the guy that everyone looks at the gym and goes, that guy's fucking scary.
Weights
yeah,
it
there's my
is,
answer
baby.
right there.
Weights it is. Okay. Anytime you see somebody, I had a friend who, anytime his house was just filled with, his mom loved penguins. So any kind of little figurine around the holidays, a whole new set of penguins would have come out, little knee-high sculptures, this, that, the other. People have shit around the house. Have you ever experienced something like this?
My cottage has a lot of ducks at it.
Okay, that's a little
Maybe
more
not an
that's a
addiction.
little more cottagey even related. But anyways, would you rather you be addicted to filling your house with clocks or angels?
Oh, well, the nice thing about clocks is you can kind of be like, I really like Flava Flav, and people under 20 will not get the reference. The thing about angels, I just don't really see an upside to it because just everyone thinks you're a religious nut, and they're like, oh, cool. When you have clocks everywhere, I don't really see many downsides. I'm kind of down for it. I mean, I keep one on my wrist, so that's I'm pretty much addicted to that. Addicted to the game, addicted to the time. It would be a little bit weird if you walked in. I'm just trying to think about if I walked into, let's say I meet a neighbor on the street. Okay, we both have dogs.
You've done that before. You have met neighbors.
I go, hello, neighbor. They go, hello. They
Hello,
go, is that
neighbor.
you blasting Kiss at 2 a.m.? I go, I want to rock and roll all night. Anyway, if I walk into their house and I see one of those two things, who do I prefer? I'm like, that's a lot of clocks. They go, yeah, and none of them are on time. That's a little concerning. So they better be on time.
I mean, if you're at a point, Cam, where you're having to reset 150 clocks every daylight savings.
That's just a busy day, though. It's spring cleaning.
That's spring and fall, the
Yeah.
clocking.
Yeah, so someone sees you on the Friday, like, you look a little stressed, Cam. What's going on? You're like, do you not know what Sunday is? What do you mean? My whole day is packed. I don't even know how many clocks I have. If one of them is off, I'm going to lose it. But clocks is the answer.
Clocks, far less weird. It would be obviously both are both jarring.
Yeah, they're just... I feel like clocks is less weird, though.
Yeah, somehow inherently less weird. Okay, Cam. Ready? We have one last final matchup. Now, Cam, you had a goal earlier on in the year to read as many books as you could.
Yeah, we're not going to hit that goal. We're going to push that to Q1 2022.
Okay, Q1 2022. Okay. Well, if you had read a lot of books, there are people who read certain genres of books religiously. That's all they read. Cam, would you rather be addicted to reading romantic, smutty romantic books, or addicted to every possible self-help book?
Oh, God. Which guy in the subway do you want to be? Smut boy or how to turn your life around in 7 steps?
How to impress women in a week.
Yeah. Why balding is not the end. How to talk to people like you are a person still. Fuck me. Oh, man. I mean, Cam, you've made this a pretty easy March Madness. You're like, does the NHL team work or the tykes that play in the corner? Right? We have 5 bad ones and 1 good one. But yeah, we'll play your game. Sure. Do I want to eat cheese for a living? Or do I want to be a giant power lifter? Who the hell knows? Oh, or do I want to have clocks everywhere? All right, so we got smut. I'm just trying to think, because eventually someone's going to... actually, this is an interesting point. Now, if it's not public, right, because I don't want to be the guy, hey, what are you reading, right? Oh,
Well, Cam, it doesn't have to be public, but it has to be your life. You and Shannon get
I
ready.
know.
You and Shannon get ready for bed. She's like, "Hey, what are you reading over there?" Oh, I'm reading. Your pubes will grow back, and other motivational stories.
Reader's Digest.
Reader's Digest
version. Do you find yourself lost? Yeah, I mean, okay, here's the thing. If I'm able to keep it private, and that's... 'cause I think the worst of the two on the subway is the self-help book guy, right? At the same time, I think that guy's learning something. He's probably learning a little too much and probably said a little too weird inspirational things to his friends. Like, his friends are like, oh, man, I spilt my coffee. He's like, every door that opens is another opportunity that closes. And you're like, that doesn't even make sense. You're like, you have to think about it.
Think about it.
Think about it. Oh, that's a dog. Well, I'm sick.
I hope you're using this time to think. Jesus Christ.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to pick self-help book guy.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's a definite winner.
Which means that we have, second round. The first round always takes 20 minutes. The rest of it goes by super quick. Next up, we have addicted to eating cheese and addicted every single wall and possible counter available space is filled with clocks.
We're talking counter space?
We're talking you're addicted to it. You can't get enough of it. You see a clock, you need to buy it. You buy it.
I'm addicted to clocks.
Yeah, alternate title. Not many people know that.
No, that's on the Deep Cuts album. That's the B side. That's the C side of the album.
Yeah, C side.
C side. I'm addicted to cheese. It's cheese versus clocks?
Cheese or clocks, baby. Cheese or clocks.
I mean, I think you learn a lot about different cheeses.
Okay.
That's a nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
But downside is if you're like that hooked on cheese, your life just falls apart if you don't have it in your pocket.
You're putting on a couple LBs, probably maybe
a couple LBs.
3 or 4 stone.
3 or 4 stone at least. I'm gonna pick cheese.
Cheese, going ahead. Cam, you'll put on a little bit of weight as long as people don't walk in your house and think you're fucking insane. Okay, that means that
fat.
That means that our next matchup is would you rather be addicted to reading self-help books all over the place, by the way, or addicted to the weight room? We're talking Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman level. Cam, we're talking T-cycles. We're talking steroids, Cam. You want to do whatever needs to be done to look the best that you think you can.
So you're saying what's my dream versus my nightmare?
Okay. Yeah. Your life's gonna change from here on out, Cam. You don't have time for work because you're too busy spending time doing posing classes.
Well, I think the problem, and I'm realizing it because once this surgery, I told you my surgery got booked, right?
Yes.
Okay. So after that, once I get recovered, I'm gonna go on a big old getting thick cycle.
Okay.
I didn't realize how much friggin' food you have to eat.
Yeah. How
It's ridiculous.
many calories are you trying to hit?
Yeah.
It's like 3,000?
I'm gonna have to smash that. Probably in the 4s.
Dude, 3,000's hard enough.
I know. That's the problem.
I was telling you that like all last winter. How hard?
Yeah, I know.
How hard it is to shove that last bagel into your mouth at 10:30 fucking p.m.
And you hate yourself and you wish you were addicted to cheese.
Yeah, honestly.
Where was I going with this?
It's weights or self-help. That's where we're going.
That's where we're going. I mean, I'm going to have to go weights. I think there's definitely downsides to weights, but you don't want to be a self-help guy.
Fantastic, which means our final matchup is really maybe a matchup made in heaven. You know, the dichotomy of the two. Cam, would you rather be addicted to eating cheese all the time? Like, you're at risk for certain, complications due to too much dairy. Like, your BMs are so
It's
weird.
gout.
Your movements are so weird.
They're hardly movements; they're just constant.
Or would you rather, you looked weird, kind of, walking down the street, because clothes don't fit you normally. You don't have a neck.
But you don't think you look weird though.
You're
think
shoving.
You look like a god.
You're drinking just full cups of dry creatine just kind of throwing it in your mouth as soon as you wake up. You're getting oiled up, you're getting greased up, but you're fucking huge. What would you rather be?
Oh, give me the weight gainer and just pack it on me.
You're
I'm
eating
gonna be the swollest man alive.
7,000 calories a day, Cam. You're fucking
You're-
huge.
You're having a carton of eggs for your snack.
Yeah. There you have
You chew the shells because you can't
the
waste
shells
calories.
they have so much protein in the shells. There you have it, Cam. Everyone, out of all those things, Cam would much rather be addicted to being as big as he can.
What would you choose? I feel like that would be your answer too.
Out of all of this,
Or would you be a cheese guy? I feel like cheese is the next most attractive option. Cream cheese.
you got cream cheese. You got
Fondue.
you got a fondue.
Yeah, someone's
of
like, we're doing
cheese.
fondue. You're like, can I have a cup? You're like, normally you dip it. You're like, yeah, that's a choice.
You've got it's actually not cheese, but it sits on the nachos when you go to a Jays game. Cheese.
What is that stuff?
It's more of it's just yellow paste.
They call it queso, but I think that just means Spanish for cheese.
I think queso is Spanish for diarrhea.
Queso is Spanish for I have a problem.
Queso is Spanish for washroom.
Fast. What do you got? What's your pick?
Out of all these things, where would I end up? I feel like shopping is the easiest that doesn't like make things like make you crazy. I feel like everything else there is a little crazy.
Yeah, but shopping just puts you in so much debt.
Yeah, but at least, yeah, but I feel like out of all that, would I rather be like cheese fat? Yeah, angels and clocks. Those ones are kind of tough. Yeah, it's a tough bracket. It's a tough bracket, like everything.
Yeah, to me that was easy. But then again, I think if I sat with the real world consequences of being like a Jay Cutler, I feel like it's a little bit different.
Well, Cam, and when I present to you some of these March Madnesses, I need you to expand that world.
Sit with it.
You know, when you thought weights, you're like, great.
Let's do it again.
I'm just
Let's do it again.
Sunly Angels
No.
isn't looking too bad. You're like, I like
Yeah.
angels. Everyone's got a kink.
Everyone's got a kink. They turn me on. Anyone else hard?
I'm hard, folks.
I'm hard for the game. Heart for the Whalers. Am I right, folks?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we should probably plow ahead to our last game of the evening, Cameron, because it's about that time of day where we scour the internet, figure out what's true, what's false, and pitch it to each other like it's a game show. That's right, folks. It's Headline or Asinine.
Hey, 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 headline or asinine. Hey,
Headline or asinine.
You know what the game is? It's essentially Leno's headlines. It's
No,
not.
it's not.
It's actually
It's
not
not.
essentially Leno's headlines.
Nope.
But we're kind of
Close.
we're kind of steamrolling because Cam, you came out hard saying if Leno can do it, I can do it better.
That's right. Yeah, that's my game show.
You've expanded your car collection. You now have 2. So you are catching up to Leno quickly. You're wearing
Yeah.
all jean.
What's he got? 3?
You're wearing all jean right now. I should have noticed. Yeah, that vest is a jean vest. You look fantastic.
Jean vest. That's a look.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
What are you more addicted to, jean vests or cheese?
Oh, jean vests. Hell yeah! Hop on my hog.
You've never been seen without a jean vest. You can't even sleep, Nate. You'll have sex, jean vest on. Take it off. I can't, babe.
I
Love my
bought
jean vest.
I bought a $125 Levi's Wrangler jean jacket just so I could cut the sleeves off and turn it into a vest. Hey, I little things don't you know, Cam? Well, I told you about this off mic that I put in a petition to change my name to Jean Vest. The paperwork is going through as we speak, folks. By this time next week, we might have to change the name of the podcast. I might be Gene Vest.
They call me Blue. Blue. Blue Gene Vest. It's so stupid. All right, cheese boy.
Cheesy Genie. Cam, I got a headline for you here. Headliner asinine AI robot turns racist and homophobic after copying human behavior.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're going on Twitter for about 6 minutes, yeah, you're gonna think the world is fucked. All right, because that's really all you can go off of if you're an AI. You're not going to sit there in common areas of the mall and be like, "What are people talking about?" They're like, "Oh, there's a sale at the Gap." Right? Did you hear there's 50% off Gene Vests? Who's calling?
Who's calling? I'm Gene Vest.
It's all Gene Vest. Anyway, yeah, so I imagine if you're just training it based on that and to learn what people are thinking, the internet's a very bad place for figuring out how the sentiment is. And if you're on the wrong website, you're on the 4chans, you're on, let's even look at it. Twitter, crazy. Reddit, I would say, is pretty insane. They're all just super left-wing. 4chan, super right-wing. Facebook, boomers. What else you got? Instagram, never seen it.
MySpace, mostly a place where I can go talk to my friend Tom.
He's older, and I pretend to be younger.
We both pretend it's 2003.
And I'm still 14.
He said he was my friend.
He wants to meet up.
He wants to meet up. How could I not trust that face smiling over his shoulder in a white t-shirt? Hair spiky.
All right. That's a headline.
Cam, that's asinine. I made it up. Made it up, you son of a bitch. Okay. Enough funny business, Cam. I'm ready for a headline. What you got for me?
All right, Gene.
All right.
Oh God. Neighbor places landmines on property lines to stay off the grass.
What's the scariest part about this headline is that it's easy to make or to either make or purchase landmines. Like, if I wanted to buy a landmine, I would not know where to go. And it's scary to think that maybe there's somewhere that could actually happen. That being said, what's the legality on... Is that like an extension of the stand your ground law? Is you can plant landmines on your property? If that's being said, though, I think there should be some kind of warning, at least if nothing, like for your mailman.
Or just someone walking their dog.
Someone walking their dog. Who else? Like, the little neighborhood boy that you get to mow your lawn. Just let people know if there's a landmine in your yard. That way, if they do know, it's like, hey, don't fuck with my yard. That's a headline.
No, I made it up. I feel like that would be a whole different level of crime if you do that. I feel like that's terrorism.
Cam, headliner asinine. Woman billed $700 for sitting in an emergency room for 7 hours with no treatment.
That sounds like America. Yeah, because I think once you enter the system, the billing just starts, right? And regardless of how long it takes, you've agreed to this bill in a sense. You probably said, all right, what are we doing today? You're doing a I got hurt assessment to make sure that everything is accurate. Then she probably left and was like, fuck this is taking way too long. And then the companies came after and said, yep, this is America. You got to pay me money. And probably didn't have any insurance, or did have insurance. Who knows? It doesn't really matter at that point. I know when I went to the hospital, there was an international person that came in, and I think the rate just to enter the emergency room was $250. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. Like this isn't even a crazy headline to me. This is a headline.
It's a headline, apparently not even crazy to you, because, yeah, you got it totally right. Story out of Georgia at Emory Healthcare Center, where a woman got hit in the head and was having a nasty headache, so she decides to go to the emergency room, which she really didn't want to do. She gives her information down to the busy ER, brought into a room where she sits for 7 hours without being seen by doctors, having someone check her vitals, anything like that. After such a long time nobody seeing her, she just decides to leave, and 2 weeks later receives a bill in the mail for $688.35. She calls the hospital, asks if there's a mistake, and, like you guessed it, there was not a mistake. As soon as your social security number is put onto the form, you are charged. And it is it's the right to charge an emergency room visit fee, which will get added to whatever work needs to be done. But since there was no work to be done, the charge just kind of happened.
Yep, no surprises there. Healthcare for all, jean vest.
Jean Vest.
Oh, my name is Gene Vest, and I smoke Marlboro. All right. Daniel Craig says he goes to gay bars to avoid fights at straight venues.
Daniel Craig goes to gay bars to avoid fights at straight venues. How many people are wanting to fight Daniel Craig? I mean, if you're going to go out there, that's a good point. If you're out at a bar and you see a big action star, like a James Bond, or you see, who else is a big action star? Like if you see Keanu Reeves at a bar, Cam, you're telling me that you're not going to try a little Krav Maga?
Of course you are.
You're going to want to see, like, hey, this is Neo and John Wick. Can I take him down? And Cam, if, in the Keanu Reeves particular situation, it would probably be a no. You could probably not take Keanu Reeves out. Daniel Craig, I would have to say you also wouldn't be able to take him out. Or maybe these are fights that he's trying to, like, break up or something. Either way, if you're at a club, don't fight the current James Bond. You can fight a past James Bond. I think you could kick the shit out of Pierce Brosnan. I think you could kick the shit out of Timothy Dalton, if he's still alive. Especially in those later years of Sean Connery, there was a little overlap where I could definitely beat the shit out of him. I'm going to say this is a headline.
This is a headline, and just so you know, he's now 53, so you're not far from that number. A little more vulnerable than you think. Anyway, he was quoted on a podcast recently saying, "I've been going to gay bars for as long as I can remember." The podcast was Lunch with Bruce. All right, Bruce. He doesn't want to get into fights in gay bars that often because he said, "Believe me, when I was a younger man, it happened quite a lot in straight venues," and wants to avoid being, in his words, punched up during a night out. Craig, who has been married to Rachel Rachel, said when he was single, he would often go there to meet women as well because women are like-minded and don't need the harassment from men at the straight bars and prefer to go to gay bars. So it's just similar-minded people doing things to get the job done at the bar. Anyway, real story. I don't know if you've seen the new James Bond. Recommend it. Saw it in theaters 2 weeks ago. Great film.
Wow, that's fantastic. It's nice to know, folks. Don't fight it. Go to gay bars if you're gonna not fight. You go to straight bar if you're gonna fight. Don't fight at the gay bars. Okay, am I going here? One final headliner asinine here for you. Woman sues boyfriend for not proposing after 8 years.
Woman sues boyfriend. I was just trying to think of the legality of this. You said. And I'd imagine if they wrote in a contract, that could be something where it's like maybe a little fun contract and then it gets a little more serious. And then the next thing you know, they also put like sub-clauses in there that says that if the gas tank is under half full, then you have to propose to me that day. And there's a bunch of other little things in there that seem a little bit ridiculous, but it was all planned out by this woman. I feel like in America, I always assume whenever they're throwing me from is normally from America, and then whenever I tell you something that's like child dies from neglect, you're like must be somewhere in the Middle East. Yeah, so yeah, people love to sue each other for shit, and I bet there was a contract written up to start with that said that, and then he was like, "Come on, babe, it's gonna be next year, I swear." He's like, "Bitch, it's in the contract. Sue me, or I'll sue you." It's headline.
Cam, this is a headline here for you. This is a story coming out of Kenya and involves a woman named Gertrude Noma, maybe,
All right.
who after 8 years of dating her partner and father to their child, Herbert Salakiki, and decided that he was wasting her time on a criminal level, and is suing her partner. They're 26 and 28. She's suing her partner for wasting her life, not proposing like you promised you would, and also apparently for texting with other women. The man, of course, defended himself by saying that he isn't in the right financial situation to get married, but also countered in saying that his girlfriend, who still lives with her parents, of not giving him sufficient attention in the relationship. It made it all the way to the Kenyan courtroom where the overseeing judge said, "There's nothing I can do about it."
Wow. In America, that'd be closed and sealed, baby.
Yeah, there would be $95,000 exchanging hands.
Yeah.
And a marriage.
And a marriage and a ring. There'd be so much. There'd be proposals on the witness stand.
Oh yeah, they'd have to get married right there. The judge would be the judge would be the judge.
The minister, I think the word.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Hiker lost on mountain for 24 hours. Ignored call from rescuers because he didn't recognize the phone number.
This is funny. A couple weeks ago, we had a story about a drunk guy who got lost in a forest and then eventually ended up joining his own search party. It seems as though whenever people want to be saved, maybe they don't need to be saved, or it's okay, and maybe people are freaking out too much, right? Your husband, your partner hasn't come home they haven't come home that night. You're freaking out. Must be the worst. You can only assume the worst, right? That's why you send out like a whole team to come pick people up. I will never answer a number that I don't recognize, like doesn't come up as a name that I already have in my contacts, or doesn't come up as the person's name. Even if the doctor's office calls you, it'll say the name of the doctor's office. I have caller ID. It's 2021. Isn't that shit included like on all the phone packages by now? If not, it goddamn well should be. Other than that, I would totally agree. If I don't think I'm lost, I don't want to answer fucking 706 325-1126. No, that's end.
Don't dox me like that.
That's end call and block caller immediately. I never want to hear back from that person ever again. This is a headline.
This is a headline out of Colorado where a man who is hiking Mount Elbert in Colorado, the highest summit of the Rocky Mountains, was gone for 24 hours, got a little bit lost, and then made it back to a cabin without telling anyone, and received multiple calls from the party lines searching for him, and ignored all of them. Multiple calls in a row, thinking, I don't know who the fuck this number is, and also I'm safe, so everyone can go suck my dick. And this brings us back to the famous lines from Rise Against. That's when she said, I don't hate you, boy. I just want to save you while there's still something left to save. Oh, oh.
Wow, I do not. Yeah, that's exactly right, Cam. Sometimes play it. You just gotta let a man do his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was a fantastic edition of Headliner last night, and that's all the time I would say that we would actually have for the show. Thanks for tuning in for us. A day late. The episode's coming up. The episode's coming up right now, so it'll be ready for your your Wednesday morning.
Are you listening to this episode? It's out.
It's out
Think of it
right
that way.
now, which is so incredible. And we'll be back to our regular schedule on Monday. So a little bit of a shorter week between shows for us this week. But I think we're getting back on track. Thanks for listening. Rate, like, subscribe to shows everywhere at twoceesinapod@gmail.com. And that's all I've got. Yeah.
And never forget, people, it's 30% more difficult to detect sweet and salty tastes when you're flying in an airplane. I'm Cam LeClaire, signing off.
Take care, folks.
Continuing tonight on Two C's in a Pod. 96.7 on your.
Two C's in a pod, 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 two C's because we're two C's in a pod, just like two C's in a pod, two C's in a pod at gmail.com.